As of yesterday, it marks 5 years since DayZ released on Steam, and if you don't know, the developers did a live stream answering some questions. So some of the answers are quite vague, but it was still quite interesting. So instead of you having to watch the whole VOD, I've highlighted some of the important stuff. If you want to watch the whole VOD, then I've left a link in the description. Before the highlight starts, I just want to thank you guys for 2,000 subs. I've wanted to do some sort of subscriber special video, but I can't decide what to do. So if you have any ideas, just leave them in the description and I'll try and do something. Thanks so much for the support and thanks for watching.
I want to talk about last week because DayZ was released. We have right now 1.0 version, and I want to ask you, Eugene, how do you feel? The game is out, so...
Well, it's been a very long journey. I think everybody can agree with that. And it probably won't stop here, and I think that's the most important part. There are still issues to solve and problems to tackle and things to get in the game. And yeah, I'm just happy we got to this point, that there is some form of closure for DayZ, at least in terms of 1.0. And I'm just happy it's out, people are playing, that the free weekend has been a success. The numbers that we are seeing are really just like amazing. I'm just happy that people are playing DayZ again. Bases first need to work and be stable and persistent so that the community won't have any issues about things disappearing. Once that's done, we're going to look at the balancing and get that done for you guys. So don't worry about it. It's definitely on our radar. We know. We probably anytime we see an issue reported, a lot of the things are on our minds all the time. And I know, even from myself, this job, this game has been a big part of my life for the past few years, and we don't want the experience to be like that. Like, that's not what we want, and we're gonna work on it. That's the main thing.
Another questions? I saw some issues with infected right now. Can you tell us more about it, about the problem?
Okay, so there are a couple things to explain there. The infected are going to be more of a threat down the road. Right now, there are two issues. One, the server FPS, while it has been good over the year, we have definitely seen some decrease with the release of 1.0. We're going to track that down, and we have been profiling servers on Friday. So Monday, we're going to do the analysis, look at what's happening, why it's happening, and push a fix out. So that's definitely affecting the infected performance, because when you see them jumping around or delays, teleporting, things like that, it's mostly server performance. And there is one more thing: zombies get stuck often, and it's one of the very developer kind of things. When you have as large of a map as DayZ is, and you have humanoid AI on the map, they can't have collisions because that just wouldn't be calculable on the server. So they basically travel through the environment based on navigation mesh, which is like a geometry in game that they use to navigate through. And there are some situations when they get stuck, and we actually started working on unstuck mechanism that should make sure that these things continue through without any issues. But it was kind of broken, so we had to roll back before the release so things don't get even worse. So there are tons of priorities that we need to look into, and we just need to basically go through them one at a time. And this is on our radar. So one thing, server performance definitely affecting infected, and the second thing, issues with the infected themselves that we're going to be looking into very soon. There's more variation to be there, so I know Peter as well want zombies to feel more of a threat, and you should be afraid of them, which I don't believe is the case right now. At least once you get to learn the game and you know what to expect. Like, the first encounter is maybe scary, but then once you know how to avoid them, it gets less and less difficult. For me personally, zombies are very high on my priority list of things that I want to get right. And while there's tons of other things, that threat and scare that you should get when you meet a zombie, the stealth in game to be more of a factor. Yeah, that's what we want. and we're gonna get there.
Well, like people are talking about the roadmap of
Mhm.
2019. I just want to tell we don't have any public roadmap right now, but we will let you know.
I'm gonna just say one more thing to that because
Mhm.
I know because of the troubled development of DayZ in the past few years, especially because of the change of the engine, we're under lots of pressure to remake the game in the new engine. And it's not a pressure from outside or corporate world or whatever. Like it's still privately owned company Bohemia. It's something that we wanted to make right, and so the plan for next year needs to be something that we have to deliver on point, and we're gonna put as much time as needed to make sure that plan is doable and right for us. And once we have that, we're gonna share it.
Peter, why we don't have any Autorun button?
I think it's kinda immersion breaking when you set the outrun to on, then you walk away from the keyboard from the game, and you found people stuck in the trees, in the fences. It's walking towards them. It's really weird, and as I said, like for me, it's immersion breaking, but it's not hard to do that. So with the modding available, people can feel free to add some outrun.
I have too many messages about Namalsk. Like it's not our. It's a map.
Not made by Bohemia.
yeah,
That's the most
that's-
important thing.
Yeah, so we cannot answer this. It's up to Sumrak when he going to release it. We don't
Write
know.
to Adam directly. He
Yes.
would love that.
He is Sumrak
Like
on,
I
on
know you
Twitter.
guys are asking him the same things we are asking him in the office, and I remember just like on Friday, I think it was on Friday when I asked them like, "So Namalsk, when is it coming?" And it's definitely gonna get there at some point, but Adam wants it to be perfect. So he has been perfectionist for most of our development. He has done the same things for Chernarus. He wants things to be right. So he still has some development to do, and he's definitely going to talk about it later down the road.
Are we bringing weapons back in one update or gradually? Sorry.
So right now, even with the basic plan we have for next year, it's definitely going to be gradual. It's not going to be one big package. There are only mods out there adding those weapons that we have created over the years. If we are going to deliver something, it needs to be high quality. So we're going to focus on that, and it's going to be gradual over the year.
And can you give us a hint of what is the next prepared gun?
No.
Okay.
As I said, guys, before, we definitely want to under-promise and over-deliver. It's one of the things that is very important for next year.
What happened to the container system in houses, like refrigerators, cabinets, fireplaces?
Well, that was prototyped. It worked. It was in game for some time, but it wasn't such crucial thing to focus on with the 1.0 release. So that's why we pushed it a bit. So it's definitely not cut off or dead. We still plan somehow tackle it in the future if there is a time, but as we are still missing more important features, like we already talked about, helicopters or make zombies better and stuff like that.
It's still lower on the priority list.
exactly.
There are some performance concerns with how world containers are going to be handled. So we're going to play it safe because anytime we add a feature in game, we basically barter it for performance. So it's a balancing act that we need to make sure is right.
What about PlayStation 4?
The PlayStation 4 version is in production right now, and once we have more information to share, we definitely will. Like one of the things, like the idea of DayZ and all those players we want to get DayZ on as many platforms as we can. I think it's important for the game. It's important for the brand itself, and I think the game can be enjoyed on any platform. I don't think there are games as DayZ on PlayStation or Xbox, and there is definitely an audience for them. So it's important for us.
Like, that's amazing.
Oh,
He died.
that's a nice one.
It looked a bit like a ragdoll, right?
Almost.
Yeah, so what about Ragdoll?
Well,
You just saw one.
as we were talking about, Ragdoll is important not only like for vehicle impacts, but for explosive as well. So again, very high on priority list.
What about bows in the game?
So the way I look at the bows, like ability to create a ranged weapon out of civilization, that in terms of like design or just like how you approach that, the cost to create bow is quite high in terms of development. So it's something we need to consider at the start of the year to see how possible it is and how soon it can happen. But right now there is nothing set in stone in terms of when the bow is going to arrive in game.
And I think that's all. And thank you for coming here and playing with us.
Stay positive.
Yeah.
Thank you guys, and see you in Cherner's Falls.
Bye bye.